Shootout at Tasty in Crossroad, St. Andrew. Customers at Tasty in Crossroad, St. Andrew were sent scampering for cover following an exchange of gunfire in the afternoon. Information is still sketchy, but reporters understand that 2 men exited a vehicle and shot at a man said to be an employee of the fast food outlet. It is understood that the gunmen were challenged by another man said to be an off-duty Jamaica Defense Force soldier who was at the restaurant. At the end of the melee, the gunman fled and the soldier, it is understood, picked up an injury. Police who were currently at the scene were unable to say if the soldier or the employee were shot. Woman hospitalized after being shot in the mouth in Manchester. Police are reporting that a woman has been hospitalized after she was shot in the face during an attack at a bar in Comfort, Land Settlement area in Manchester on Wednesday night. The area is a few miles south of Mandeville. Reports suggest that about 7:30 p.m., the woman was at the bar when gunmen opened fire, hitting her in the mouth. She was taken to hospital and admitted. Police said her condition is not considered life-threatening. Police further stated that last week, a man was fatally shot at the same bar by an off-duty cop. Last week's incident is being probed by the Independent Commission of Investigations in the Com. Silvera facing evidence tampering charges, a lawmaker's wife cooperating with murder probe. Murder accused and former West St. Mary Member of Parliament Jolan Silvera made his first appearance in the Home Circuit Court yesterday afternoon, even as his legal woes appear to be deepening. Silvera was arrested and charged with the murder of his wife Melissa last Friday. Reporters understand that the wife of a senior opposition legislator has spoken with the police and is cooperating with investigators. Reporters further understand that Silvera is also under investigation for corruption and tampering in connection with what the police suspect to be an attempted elaborate cover-up of his wife's brutal murder. It's understood that the police are probing the circumstances in which it appears that the barrel of Silvera's licensed firearm was altered in the aftermath of Melissa's murder. Silvera, who is chairman of the People's National Party Foundings Group, is under investigation in connection with the suspected tampering of the weapon. The police made a breakthrough in the case when unique marks on a bullet that was found inside Mrs. Silvera corresponded to records stored at the Firearms Licensing Authority FLA, which outlined particulars of the weapon that was assigned to Silvera. Silvera could face additional criminal charges. DPP Paula Llewellyn's office is expected to issue a voluntary bail in the indictment yesterday, transferring that Silvera murder case from the first mentioned courtway in Halfway Tree to the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston. Reporters further understand that the police are also moving to interview at least 2 prominent members of PNP who are former members of parliament who visited the bloody crime scene after Mrs. Silvera was killed. PNP Vice President and MP for Northwest Manchester Michael Phillips has already given a statement to detectives from the JCF's Major Investigations Division MID. On November 11 last year, PNP President Mark Golden disclosed Mrs. Silvera's demise to the country via his social media pages including Facebook. Golden wrote that Mrs. Silvera had passed away and expressed what he described as sincere condolences to Jolan Silvera. On December 16, Golden amended the Facebook post to remove the name Jolan Silvera and instead offered condolences to the Silvera family. By then, the police had upgraded the case involving Mrs. Silvera's death to a murder probe after a post-mortem revealed that she did not die of natural causes, but her life was cut short by 3 gunshots. The police say that Mrs. Silvera was shot dead while she slept in her bed in her matrimonial home. Jolan Silvera is denying wrongdoing. He is currently represented by King's Counsel Peter Champney. 4th inmate who escaped Arouca police lockup recaptured. Another of the 7 inmates who escaped lockup at the Arouca police station in St. Mary in December 2023 has been recaptured. He is Domala Vernon, age 25, a laborer from Boscobel View, Boscobel in the parish. Vernon was handed over to the St. Anne's Bay Police by a relative on Thursday afternoon. Police say the Divisional Intelligence Unit DIU in St. Anne has collaborated with their counterparts in St. Mary, confirming Vernon's identity and his status as one of the escapees. This brings to 4 the number of those who have been recaptured. Head of the Police Area 2 ACP Calvin Allen expresses appreciation to the family members who have come forward assisting in the recapture of the escapees. He said the cooperation from the public is a testament in the community's commitment to justice and public safety. ACP Allen explained that the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF continues its effort to apprehend the remaining escapees and urged anyone with information to come forward. In the meantime, he sought to assure the public that every lead will be thoroughly investigated to ensure that all escapees are brought back into custody and the public safety is maintained. Vernon was among 7 individuals who escaped from the Arouca police lockup. On Tuesday, LaShawn Davidson, 26, also known as Yang, from Jacks River in the parish was recaptured in the St. Andrew North Police Division. Last week, Trey Walker, 24, from Claremont in St. Anne, was returned to the St. Mary Police after being in custody in Linstead, St. Catherine. The previous week, 22-year-old Linton Bailey was apprehended by cops in an early morning operation in Wilderness, St. Mary. Bailey is from Jacks River in the parish. 22-year-old Philip Williams of Belfield, St. Mary was charged with shooting with intent. 21-year-old Nalanda Atkinson of Pimento Walk, St. Anne, and 28-year-old Gavin Hurd of Stony Hill, St. Andrew, and Enfield, St. Mary, who was charged with murder, remain at large.
4 of the 7 prisoners who escaped custody from the Arouca police station are now back in police custody. 3 of the 4 were charged for shooting with intent. 1 was charged for rape. They were held on 4 separate policing activities. And also I want to commend the relatives who cooperated with the police and collaborated in handing in the 4th one to the St. Anne police. So 4 of the 7 that escaped are now back in police custody. We want to also use this occasion to remind persons that to harbor fugitives is a criminal offense. We remain relentless in our efforts for the other 3 that remain at large. But at the same time, I am imploring the public. I know you have information out there. Find someone that you trust, find someone that you are confident in, and share that information with us so that we can bring those back into custody and so the rule of law can be applied as it should.
6 men named persons of interest by St. Andrew South Police. The St. Andrew South Police have named 6 men as persons of interest in relation to several major crimes including murders and shootings across the division. Bean Sought or Russian Brissett, otherwise called Slow, Kadeem Goger, Quinn Byfield, otherwise called Tree, a man known only as Jaheem, a man known only as Lele, and Hutchie Boy, and a man known only as Brother. The men are being asked to report to the Hunts Bay Criminal Investigations Branch by 6 p.m. Friday, January 26. Anyone with information that can assist with the investigation is asked to contact Crime Stop at 311, the NIB tip line at 811, or the nearest police station. The St. Andrew South Police are reassuring the public that all information shared will be handled with the utmost confidentiality. JLP supporters protest party's replacement of Portmore mayoral candidate. Upset Jamaica Labour Party JLP supporters protested the replacement of businessman Delroy Dobney, who read a personality Mark Lan Edwards as the party's mayoral candidate in Portland. Dobney's replacement was reportedly finalized at a party's official meeting yesterday. The decision was reportedly made over non-performance. Dobney's backers came out against the move. We don't have a problem with them selecting anyone else, but to do it just before the election, after Dobney has been working hard on the ground, is not right, said a protester. Dobney, who narrowly lost to the People's National Party Fitzjacks in 2020 general election, was endorsed by the JLP-era council chairman Edward Warmington last November. His supporters are urging Jamaica Labour Party leader Andrew Holness to address the situation before the upcoming local government election. When contacted, Edwards said, "I am ready to work with the people and transform Portmore into a place of choice." Efforts to contact Dobney for a comment were unsuccessful. Clergyman blames education ministry for discord with church schools. Archbishop of the West Indies and Bishop of Jamaica and the Chairman Island, Reverend Dr. Howard Gregory, has strongly criticized the Ministry of Education for creating ongoing discord between the ministry and church-operated schools. Archbishop Gregory has accused the ministry of overreaching in its management of the institutions, adding that the relationship no longer represents a partnership. A third or more of all Jamaican schools at all levels are owned or sponsored by 11 Christian denominations and a few thrust. Addressing a Founders Day service at St. Mark's Anglican Church in Mandeville this week, the Archbishop said the church did not enter the education sector through the back door, but it was the government that was the latecomer to education in Jamaica. In a subsequent interview with reporters, Archbishop Clergy explained that the problem started with the Ministry of Education redefining schools as public institutions, contrary to the agreement with churches and trusts for the government to mainly provide financial assistance. That has given them certain claim. For example, if the PTA, for example, raises funds for putting up a classroom, the government is suggesting that all funds coming into schools, they have a measure of control and regulation over that. I was in one of the high schools this week and learned the government insists whatever comes in through the canteen of a school has to be seen as under the control of the government. How did we ever get there? He questioned. Archbishop Gregory said issues relating to devotions, deployment, school fees, or other sticky points for the educational institutions. How did the government get the regulating education to telling us what must happen in devotion and what kind of context in which devotion can take place? That is what we regarded as an overreach, and when issues come up, the main one, for example, has to do with fees, the contribution of parents to school system because of the government, for example, says that all parents don't have to contribute anything, but we're supposed to provide certain services, which they don't provide. So some of the schools right now are struggling. He expressed disappointment that the head of churches and trusts have to oftentimes seek out the information of Ministry of Education policies rather than being included in the discussions. If we are going to have a partnership, there needs to be dialogue consistently, not after the fact in relation to the direction that education takes, he demanded. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.